No, no, no. I found something better than that. I finally found something I know you're gonna like. Now, just a minute. Oh, this is gonna be so great.
My God, I haven't seen you this excited since you got that 4-in-1 remote control.
It's a medic!
Hello, it has been a while. For those of you returning, you might be wondering, where's Team Fortress 2? First off, I don't blame you. Second off, it's coming. It'll be here. Eventually. But for now, I wanted to make something that was not Team Fortress 2. Odds are good that my next video will be Team Fortress 2. I don't know what it'll be yet. Maybe it'll be one of those cool frag montages. You know, the kind where I get cool frags on fresh installs. I'm so cool. Or maybe it'll be a video like this, talking about the wretched Warpaint system. Since I started working on it about a year ago, I've noticed a lot of weird and, in my opinion, funny things about it. So, who knows? And for total noobs, you might be asking, what's Sven co-op? Well, you know Half-Life 1? Imagine that, but multiplayer. You can use cool and wacky models. It sometimes includes stuff from Blue Shift or Opposing Force. And custom weapons exist. Kind of. It also has bee-hopping. Think of it like Gary's mod, but way cooler. So what's this all about then? Well, some friends and I played through a custom set of maps by the name of Desastre. It was created by Yami No Game Ultimatum, who, besides his interesting taste and profile backgrounds, also has Steam keys for sale at a better price. Now, I really should take the time to make one thing clear. I am going to be really digging into this set of maps, and I will be making digs towards the creator. This is not an excuse to go be rude to him, to go out of your way to harass him, to annoy him, or otherwise bother him. This is all just for fun. I played this map set willingly. I'm going to express the things I dislike about it in a very negative sounding way, but this is for the sake of humor. It's a random guy's custom map set. I'm not legitimately furious. And Yami, if you're listening, keep up what you're doing. I think it's awesome that you are making free map sets for the Sven Co-op's community. I think that is fantastic, and that is more than I will ever do. Don't let this discourage you. This is just me having my own fun. And with that out of the way, we can take a quick look at the map page on the Sven Co-op map database. Desastre was completed in 2020 and has a total of, holy shit, 49 maps. According to the author, it's a mod where it combines a unique story, Cry of Fear, Left 4 Dead 2, Half-Life, The Suffering, among others, combining their stories and doing it in a single story. Sounds great, doesn't it? Nothing has ever ended up terrible from trying to combine a bunch of different things into one project. That's why I'm going to be combining a bunch of different things into one project. Under the additional credits, though, we can see a full list of the assets this guy used, and there are some pretty interesting names in there. Let's read it. Most of the resources such as audios, textures, models, etc. belong to the following: Left 4 Dead 2, Half-Life, Alien Shooter, Cry of Fear, Painkiller, The Suffering, Sino Alice, Korn, Slipknot, Kizuna AI, Kerncore, DNIO 071, and Hatsune Miku. More on her later. Looking further ahead, we see some changelogs from the username Grompa. Grompa's fixed a lot of maps, and for a lot of them, I'm genuinely thankful. That said, he has a habit of making very gratuitous changes that go beyond a simple fix. Here's a pretty good example of that. This is a map by the unit Gold, and Grumpa made a change where, instead of the normal ending, you fight the map author, because this map set sucks. And you know what? That's kind of cathartic. I'll give you that one, Grumpa. Thank you. Now, based on my playthrough and observations, I'm going to trust that the change logs here are the only changes that Grumpa's made. But if Grumpa made this map set as fucked up as it is, then I apologize to Yami no Game Ultimatum for some of the things I'll be saying. Also, a quick few things you should know about the video game. I mentioned that you can use custom player models. This is me, this is TBCR, this is Spockland, he's Australian, you can tell his voice very easily. And this is Fresh, her player model is funny later on. Now the footage is going to change quite a bit, but I have two different types of footage. I have footage recorded in post, that'll be in 16:9, and I have footage from our original playthrough that is recorded in 4:3. So if the video gets really narrow for some reason, that's the original gameplay. Also, sometimes you might see a weird blue triangle poke in on the right. That's because my friend TBCR recorded it, and he uses a VTubing model. And with all of that out of the way, I believe we can begin our long, painful journey through Desastre. Well, you saw the title of this chapter, so you already know kind of what to expect. It starts out pretty funny. Case in point, here's the introduction. There's no commentary, it's just Gordon and Simon staring into nothingness. Simon looks at us, looks away as though he doesn't like me very much, and then we're greeted with an utterly terrifying jump scare. Wasn't that terrifying? What follows next is an attempt to recreate the start of Half-Life 1. If you join late, you're stuck outside of the tram. TBCR, turn around. The door is also transparent, and it can just open for whatever reason. And if you leave it, you can discover that the void is actually floor. Except floor is actually void. And if everyone is stuck outside the tram, you are predictably soft-locked. What a great start. Honestly, I gotta commend the guy for trying to recreate the start of Half-Life 1 himself. I'm sure that was a very valuable learning experience. The issue is that he made us play it. Then you get up here, and this is where I kind of wonder, what's the deal with the bizarre deviations from actual Half-Life? I know that this is supposed to be Black Mesa, but it's so strange to go through that tram ride and find something totally foreign on the opposite side of these doors. Anyways, here's a cool elevator ride. More on these later. Finally, we get access to HEV suits from the scientist who doesn't know about personal space. Hey, whoa. It's a little close for comfort, buddy. Meet the G-Man.
Oh, it's the G-Man!
And we suddenly find ourselves doing the test chamber sequence. The sample reduced to a fucking triangle. With that, we've got a shocking twist. Jar Jar Binks was actually the one who caused the resonance cascade. That's the reason why this isn't just normal Half-Life 1, it's because Jar Jar Binks is here. We teleport around a bit with literally no fanfare. Wow. Finally, I can play Half-Life in such a way that all of my reactions are variations of confusion and amusement. Oh, and here's Barney. Oh boy, I wonder what's going to happen. Oh no! That was horrible. I grew so attached to that character in that period of time, and look what they did to him. They made him explode, and there's blood everywhere, and the blood is 3D for some reason. Anyways, now we go up the ladder, and that actually concludes the first chapter. It gets worse from here. If you're playing along at home, get real used to this feeling. Unfortunately for how amusing the beginning was, it was pretty much a cutscene. An interactive cutscene, sort of like you see in Half-Life 1. But now, we've got gameplay.
Major fracture detected.
Cool fucking mandatory damage. You gotta avoid the zombies. And here's a bunch of head crabs, because why not? You finally get a crowbar, and you just play Half-Life 1, except like weird. You go through a vent, can you guess what's in the vent? That's right, it's a head crab. Well, we continue on, can you guess what's up here? That's right, it's another head crab. After that, you go through here, and in order to progress, you gotta break this box, because there's a door behind it for some reason. Why? Finally, we get a map change, and the beautiful thing about this map is that it's completely dark. Thankfully, we have our flashlights, and we just gotta break through this door. Eventually. It'll happen. See? And here's a bunch of barnacles. Wow! Here's a bunch of zombies. Wow! You go up this wonderful ladder, and here's like 4 or 5 hound eyes. And we get through this area, so who cares? Oh, and Barney's here, by the way. Here's a random drop for no apparent reason. Makes no sense, but here it is anyways. Now, the original recording unfortunately no longer has audio from either the game or the other players, but I think it's important to note that it is at this point that I decide to read through the list of things included in this map set, and I discover that Hatsune Miku is somewhere in it. We promptly make up a new plot in which we are tasked with rescuing Hatsune Miku.
I cannot wait to hear a fucking Miku track.
Now I know I'm supposed to walk you through this, explain the experience, all that. But early on it really must be understood just how plain and boring so much of this map set is. In fact, the most notable thing of this particular map that we are on right now is that when you die, you get sent back to the beginning.
I love getting teleported to the very beginning of the map.
Now in fairness, a lot of Sven co-op maps are like this, but it's a pretty lengthy map. So it's just a lot of basic Sven co-op progress, and it's just room after room of just a shitload of enemies. And every time we die, we go back to the beginning. We respawn back at the beginning. Why? So we press through the map, we eventually find an elevator shaft, we go up it, and there are doors blocking us, but thankfully we can just break down with our crowbar. Hooray! After breaking it down, we find this sign that seems to be threatening us. But this is a video game, and where there are signs that threaten us, we have to push onwards. We find vents, we can break through it, we can break through this, we can break through the boxes. We go into this room, and wow, this looks like a pretty cool room. By the way, the floor kills you. Sometimes. I legitimately don't know what activates it or deactivates it or what you do about it, but once you do something, then a bunch of these enemies, these zombie enemies, just swarm you. This is the beginning of something terrible with this map set. It is what I have dubbed horde gameplay, where you are just endlessly swarmed by a bunch of enemies. Usually a bunch of the same enemy, like is seen here. We keep respawning here, so it isn't too terrible, but not only is it a little bit annoying, but it's also just not very fun? Like, it just isn't fun? I'm sorry, it isn't fun to just sit here and shoot bad guys? Eventually, they stop. That's good. We can progress through the map even further. We go down here. We go up, we bust through. Now, when we enter this room, I want you to tell me, what do you think we do from here? What do you think the solution is to make it past this room? Is the answer A, clear out all of the enemies? B, shoot the grate? C, back? Or D, shoot the wall for some reason?
There's no fucking indication.
There's zero indication. There's no reason that you think, oh, I can just break the concrete wall. Why? Why? Anyways, with the wall broken, we can go up, kill some enemies, you know, the whole usual shebang, and we make our way to an elevator. Now, what's fun about Gold Source is that sometimes you can get stuck between two surfaces, and if at least one of them is trying to push you into the other, it can sometimes hurt you, and sometimes it can even kill you. And in Sven Co-op, if you get on top of someone's head, that counts. So what ends up happening here is I get on everyone's head, and I end up crushing them between myself and the elevator, and it's really funny. The surface. Please be a map change, so I don't get punished for my gags and funniness. Well, it's not a map change, but...
You need two people. You reap what you sow, coffee.
Reap is what you sow.
Oh, you two don't even have a spawn point. I just murdered both of my teammates, and they can't respawn anymore. Because, guess what? The spawn point was removed when we went to the elevator. Isn't that neat? And so now I am alone. And at the top of this elevator are two buttons. Two buttons that you need to hit at the same time in order to open the door and progress. But you know what's great about this? You know what's great about this set of buttons? You can cheese it. You can just go fast between the buttons and hit them. You can just do this yourself. And so what almost appeared to be a hilarious retribution from karma itself turned into something even funnier where I can just prove, hey, I'm cool and I can do this fast. Oh, but that's just the beginning. You see this stupid fucking arena? Yeah, we got a fight in here. And it's got a shocking twist. You see, what we aren't told is that we have to defend the center, whatever this is. And you know what happens if the enemies destroy it? We have to start the map over. Well, wasn't that a fun little side adventure? Anyways, This is boring. Just kill grunts and robo grunts, and then eventually it ends. Hooray. New map, hooray. So how about I cut you a deal? I don't have all day, you don't have all day, I'm gonna level with you. A lot of this level is boring. It's kind of funny how pointless this train ride is, but besides that, what is there to say? Oh, we killed a bunch of enemies? Yeah. Yeah, actually. That is all there is to say.
Now, this is what I call gameplay.
Oh, there's Simon. Look, it's Simon.
A fellow scientist. A fellow Simon.
And now onto the good stuff. Whoa! 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 And that's immediately punctuated by horde gameplay. You just sit on the roof and you shoot at enemies who, for the most part, can't hurt you. Some spawn on the roof, and there's also some flying beds, but by and large, you're pretty safe up here. Although both of my teammates decided it would be a good idea to drop down.
It's arguably one of the best Half-Life ones.
You don't have a medkit stock?
I fell down.
You're dead. Get on the cart.
And being the last player, I eventually go down as well. And that means we got to play the map again. After we get back to this point, we fight enemies for 8 minutes, and then we wipe again. It bears mentioning that the reason we wiped the second time around was because Yami no Game decided it would be a good idea to make the grenades very large and very powerful, and not tell anyone. Eventually, a gargantua spawns. And if there's anything you need to know about the gargantua, it's that you can only damage it with explosives. And laser guns, but we don't have that here. Our explosives are down here. We are up here. I don't know if you noticed the issue. Not only are explosives able to kill us from the bottom up to the top of the roof, but we only have a limited supply. And we didn't know that there would be a gargantua, so we've just been using explosives on random enemies. It's at this point where we start to go insane and we start to think, hey, let's see if we can just break the map. And so one of my friends here discovers, oh, you can just kind of go outside the map. How neat is that? And starts to wonder, hey, is the end level trigger somewhere outside the map? Well, here's the boat. Yeah, there's a boat here, by the way. You can get on the boat and nothing happens. Nothing actually happens. You can just sit here. This doesn't help us at all. And so because this isn't helpful at all, of course my friend here decides, yeah, we're just gonna sit here on this boat while the other two fight the horde. Eventually we get to the point where we defeat everything that needs to be defeated, and the boat starts moving. How cool is that? Except the level still hasn't ended yet. The reason for this is because the trigger for the final cutscene is at the entrance of the boat. And so all I have to do is charge right in, and boom, we finished the level. Now enjoy this amusing cutscene where an enemy stows away on our skateboat. I saw an enemy get on the... There's an enemy on the boat. There's a bad guy on the boat with
Michael
us.
Myers. He's on the boat.
There's a guy on the boat with us.
It's Michael
No, that's
Myers.
us.
That's not us. That's
Wouldn't
not
that be
any of
funny?
us.
Hold on. Wouldn't it be funny if that enemy follows us into the next map?
Oh.
What happened? How did I got here?
It was all a dream. Oh.
Yes, really.
The only thing I remember is that a boat saved me.
Wow.
Something weird is going on. I'm here again. I swear to God, if it makes us play the same goddamn things over again.
No, that's the ending. No, oh my god, it was supposed to, so it was all a dream.
Hey, you recognize this part? I hope you do. That's right, we're back here again. Isn't that fun? Hey, you remember that game, Ghosts and Goblins, where you gotta play through the entire game again? Oh boy, guess what we gotta do? I love revisiting areas in video games.
Other times it can be more obscure or esoteric.
It's the same map, with the same 3D blood. Oh my god. But maybe I'm being too harsh on it here. I mean, it deviates pretty quickly. I would like to think I'm being too harsh on it anyway. It's just the same old bog standard gameplay. Why are we back here? What was the point of this entire sequence? Oh, and by the way, when I said bog standard gameplay, I was just kidding. Here's a billion enemies.
Holy fuck! Ow, 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 ow.
And now we're just getting spawn camped by a heavy weapons grunt. Here's a custom weapon for some reason. We also have a second custom gun. We love custom weapons here, especially when they're introduced arbitrarily. By the way, this gun, this one with the scope, it doesn't show up ever again. This is the only time it shows up. The AK shows up again later, but this one with the scope, no, it only appears here, and never again.
It opens the other way. There we go.
Awesome. We hit 2 buttons, seems to do nothing. We get bored, we turn around, we backtrack, turns out it opens something back here, and boom.
Ah!
The most terrifying thing imaginable. A poorly constructed maze.
Yeah, isn't this fun? Oh, no.
I wouldn't call it fun. Fun's not the word.
Too. Yeah, I would call it fun.
I would call it hell.
What could possibly be after this? Oh wow, it's a bunch of guards and turrets. And we're stuck in the spawn room, shooting at turrets until they die. The AK's back here again. And it's got a case of you have to manually hit E to pick it up. It has ammo here that respawns very slowly. Why? But whatever, we move on. There's more bad guys. There's more turrets. What more could you want?
I see we're approaching dungeons levels of bullshit.
You know how there's that random lose condition where we entered a room and we had to protect something in the middle? Well, guess what this is? That's right, it's another lose condition. We have to defend this thing from a bunch of enemies. And if it gets destroyed, we lose. Guess who didn't? Us. The answer is us. They didn't make it obvious that we had to actually defend this. It wasn't just survive. No, it's defend. And so what ends up happening is we play this section, and all of a sudden, we gotta replay the map again. Don't you just love to replay maps? I sure do. That's why I can soundly say at this point, Desastre has already broken us. We are sitting here at this stupid AK, waiting for ammo, manually picking it up, in order to make sure that we have enough ammo for a good weapon to defend the stupid whatever it is in the middle. There are 3 of us, and we have to manually wait for it to respawn. We've essentially distilled this map into we wait around for 10 minutes in order to ensure that we have enough ammo to beat this stupid section with 3 people because we don't know how long it'll be. We don't know how difficult it will be. Alright.
They spawned.
Oh, there's a sniper rifle.
Thankfully, on our second attempt, we actually succeed, and we are greeted with the world's slowest tram. It just slowly pulls up, and then we get into it, and it's still so slow when it leaves. Look at this cutscene.
Yeah.
This is supposed to be like a dramatic escape, and we are in a tram that is going the speed of one of those mobile, like motorized shopping carts.
Wasted
the end.
an
Oh,
hour.
yeah, you're right.
Well, we escaped. But did you know that things can always get worse? Okay.
Oh god.
It's time for the Cry of Fear section. Remember when Simon appeared? That's us now. We're revisiting this area, but this time as Simon instead of Gordon. Cool. Oh, hi, Chainsaw Man. Trust me, that was a lot funnier when I was writing it down. Anyways, have I talked about how loud this map is? Because the enemies just, like, yell at you constantly.
That's the sound when I stub my toe in the morning.
Now, real quick, I think it's really worth highlighting again that Yami no Game can just remove spawn points whenever he wants. And there is zero, and I mean zero indication of this. You just don't know when it's going to happen. Frankly, for a lot of Desastre, you are better off assuming that you will not respawn. And now that brings us to another really fun point about Desastre. See, this is the Cry of Fear section. It alternates between Half-Life and Cry of Fear. You get two different types of gameplay. In the Half-Life section, being based on Sven co-op, it gives you health kits. You can heal your teammates.
I'll let you through if you enter my middle street.
Yeah, fucking go.
And the health kit also has the capability of reviving teammates. Go ahead.
Okay.
In the Cry of Fear section, instead of health kits, you can find syringes on the ground that you can then use on yourself to heal a bunch of HP. But as far as I can tell, you cannot directly heal teammates. You cannot directly revive teammates. And so that combines with the fact that Yami no Game can just randomly remove respawn points whenever he feels like it, making it such that if you die, you're out for at least a little bit. There are no respawn tokens, there are no medkits. In the Cry of Fear section, it is you under Yami no Game's thumb. So between the lack of revives and the fact that this is permadeath, our first run through this map, we lose. Who could have foreseen this? We are already at this stage getting kind of sick of this map set. This is gonna fucking suck. And given what occurred with the boat, we're beginning to wonder whether or not we can break this map as well. And it is through that curiosity that we discover that we can climb these vans and then just be able to hover over the map. Listen, I provide a nice, safe, soft landing. What?
Huh?
Now in our run through, we stacked on each other's heads in order to achieve this. But you can actually just do it on your own. If you just mash, jump, and crouch a bunch against the side of the van here, you can just hover over the map with no help from other teammates in accomplishing this. So once you've had enough fun air strafing above all the enemies, you can come over to this door and just crouch a bunch, wait, hit E, something. Eventually you'll hit the level trigger. And what I've noticed is that these levels are starting to get worse and worse. And so you might be wondering, does that pattern hold true? Are you ready? Here is the opening cutscene to this map. I'll play it for you in full.
Hello, welcome to the Therapeutic Center. Aha, here you will be. How to put it? Coherent. Just saying. And well, this is my beautiful asylum where everyone here is my patient. I was being so rude. My name is Dr. Killjoy. Dr. Killjoy. And well, have we met? Yes, of course you are my patient's no, and well, welcome to your therapy. I will be watching you very clearly, every little thing you do. And remember that from now on, I will be your only doctor.
You know how I was just talking about how Yami no Game can just remove spawn points whenever he wants to? There are no spawn points in this level. There are like 2 respawn points throughout it, but if you ever die, you are out until that respawn point. And that cutscene is not its own level. That cutscene is part of this level. That means that every single time that we wipe, that every single one of us dies, we have to watch that cutscene again. And this took 3 tries. And you might be thinking, oh, it only took 3 tries, it can't be that bad. Oh boy, it was the longest 3 tries I think I've ever experienced. And in part, it's because every single time we started up this map, we had to watch this fake Germa walk up and talk to us.
Aha, here you will be.
We had to feign excitement at seeing Germa in order to maintain sanity. Oh my god. Germa!
Go back to
We get to look at Germa!
Germa!
Let me get into the cheese spot first.
Hi, Germa.
I put blinking light warning. Germa!
It's Germa!
Yeah, it is. So this is the intro we have to see every time. Every time we have started this map, we have to watch this. There's no option to skip.
The shitty Germa. Germa, why are you talking like an idiot?
I will see.
Germa, you need to clean your nose.
And that's just the cutscene.
You know what comes right after the cutscene? Immediately after, we are forced to sit on this table and shoot at enemies as they spawn. You can't end it early, you just gotta sit on that table, consume ammo, and shoot at enemies while they cannot do anything to harm you. They literally cannot hurt you while you're on this table. And you know what? The creator intended this. I know this because he has a playthrough. Yami no Game has a playthrough of Desastre, and oh boy, we're going to reference that later in this section. But for now, just know that this is intentional. This is the gameplay that he had in mind. Sitting on a table and doing nothing but clicking on enemies. This is practically a cutscene. You could skip this entirely, and there would be no gameplay detriment to the player. In fact, I would consider it a bonus. That's not even getting into the fact that the ammo actually takes time to respawn, and the enemies take several shots each. This isn't just an aim trainer where you click on things and they instantly die. No, they have actual health. And we had to do this every time we played the map. Every time we wiped, we were forced to do this painful, easy, slow sequence. This takes over 3 minutes every time. Why would Yami no Game intend this? Is he trying to be funny? Is it funny to waste a full minute on a literal cutscene, followed by over 3 minutes on what amounts to an interactive cutscene? There is no danger. There is no threat of losing here. It is equivalent 2.
SNES9X.
And you know how I mentioned that the creator has a playthrough of this map where he does this? Does this imply that he thinks this is fun? I don't think anyone should get to this point and sit on this table for 3 minutes, poking away at enemies, and decide, yeah, that's the most fun thing I could do right now. And you know what? It still gets worse. After this interactive cutscene, you exit the room to fight 2 of these obnoxious enemies that scream at you, and then the map decides to join in. Hooray! I just don't get why the fuck you would make the map scream so goddamn loudly and obnoxiously. It does this throughout the entire time we're down here. Anyways, it's a puzzle. This is a puzzle. The puzzle is you find 2 boxes and you climb up to this ladder. And once you're up there, you can begin the second horde section of the map. And you know what? There's another fun thing about Desastre that I think I've neglected to really talk about thus far. There are these walls, these invisible walls, that I have dubbed force fields. Now, why don't I call them invisible walls? Well, it's because you can kind of push your way through them. Unless you're me.
Please let me on.
In this section, you can stand on the railings back here. You aren't meant to. I mean, it tries to fight back. But my teammates can get on the railings just fine, but I can't. At all. And there are a lot of enemies that spawn here. And like the previous horde section, they take quite a few bullets. I guess I just won't survive this section. Between it being nearly impossible to live within the crowd of enemies, and the sheer tedium that is doing this completely unintended cheese strat, I have to know, how did Yami no Game do this? Oh, that's neat. Hey, real quick, I want you to watch this footage again. I just don't get why the fuck you would make the map scream so goddamn loudly and obnoxiously. It does this throughout the entire time we're down here. Did you catch it? Here. I've slowed it down and only included the important part. Did you catch it? No? That's because Yami no Game has completely lost his fucking mind and placed the world's smallest key in a room with a bunch of visual noise. Oh, but what's the key do? Oh, it just gives you the fire axe, which lets you one-shot all of the enemies in the second horde section. Did we know about this before completing the map? No. It lets you sit in the doorway and just insta-kill all of the enemies very easily, instead of sitting in a buggy spot and slowly chipping at enemies. Well, we did that anyways. Great. So once that's done, you have to climb back down, make your way back, and notice that the elevator is now open. Somehow, Yami no Game makes every step of this level painful, as this painfully slow elevator takes 1.5 minutes to get through. Why don't you come join me? basically a cutscene. So what, that's 5 minutes of cutscene every time we play this level? That's cool. Once the elevator reaches the top, you go through some doors, and oh wow, it's another cutscene. This one takes another minute of your life.
I want to help, but only if you help me help you. I have prepared something for this great occasion. This time I will present to you what I have done so far. His soul may be the same, but he is just a little bit different. Here you will see how your nightmares return over and over again, non-stop. The fears you hold on to so much are now here, in the flesh. There is someone else in this. 3 worlds in one single situation. Think about it and you will help yourselves, and help the one who is being controlled and creating all of this. I remember a doctor that made him write his book, but you can't know that. The book has fallen into the wrong hands, and now they are there. Over there they are. They are present. They really exist.
There's 6 minutes of cutscene that you have to go through if you fuck up at this point. Which we did. For what it's worth, though, this is the final section, and it somehow feels less painful than the other two, despite being more difficult. Again, there's a force field that prevents me, but not the others, from sitting on the table. It's possible to be hit while on it still, which is the reason that this map wasn't an automatic clear, and, you know, it turns out that having a shred of gameplay makes the experience more enjoyable. Still, it's clearly not the intended solution. You're not supposed to sit on this table. It tries to push you off. So let's see how Yami no Game does it. You can shoot the projector lights? You know, the thing you can't do in the other sections? The thing that you've conditioned your players to not do? And it ends the section early? Why would you make this? You just added a dev shortcut for no reason. Why is every single step in this level an example of malice? We made it to this third section twice, counting the successful attempt. That means that 13 minutes of our lives were wasted. And maybe in the grand scheme of things, 13 minutes isn't that much, but when one of the cutscenes is flashing a light in your face, and another one is a visibly, painfully slow elevator, and another one is the most boring gameplay imaginable, I feel like I have the right to complain a little bit here. It isn't even the most difficult level in the entire map set. It just feels like it is the most comically malicious one. And it was to such a degree that I wondered immediately after finishing it whether or not Yami no Game was trolling us. I wondered if he purposely devised a level that just sucked to play.
Please be the end. The end.
Hold on.
There's nothing behind it. I checked there before.
Watch, it's gonna be two underscore. But
No, I'm just going through here. I'm going through here. You can't make me not. Yes!
Fucking did it!
Yes!
Desastre underscore
Get out of
1B
here,
underscore
Fresh. Go to
1A.
bed. You are free from this
Go to
horrible
fucking
world.
bed!
You are free.
Whether or not that's the case, there is one thing I know that's true about Desastre. By the way, it's Sven Co-op's birthday.
Happy birthday, Sven Co-op. But yeah, what better way to celebrate your birthday than continuing the worst experience of our lives?
Party head crabs, because it's the anniversary, yes!
Party at
That
crab!
is
Party a crab! Come on. Yeah! Party a crab!
Again, some of the only bright spots of this entire session will be the Sven
Something
co-op
totally
anniversary.
unrelated to it.
Yay!
Party's over. Back to Desastre.
After that mess of a map, we're Gordon again. That means we have actual weapons again.
So, oh, we have an actual gun now, by the way. We have actual guns now.
You have
We
me
have
for 30.
more than just a shitty pistol.
So we're still in the same slow tram as earlier, except now we're in this area of the map, and we get to traverse through Black Mesa, once again, 3D blood and all, and we come across this store. Can you guess what takes place in this giant room? It's completely up to the imagination of anyone what could possibly... It's a fucking horde section, and it's loud! Cool. On the bright side, because we're playing as Gordon, we get to fight enemies that don't suck. They're just normal zombies that you can just one-shot. How novel. There's a catch, though. You remember the elevator? This one somehow manages to be even slower. And we need to fight enemies until this elevator reaches the bottom. Cool. Once you get to the top of the elevator, we see the scientist, who I can only presume chose the slowest speed to send the elevator down.
Good! That was close. Alright, listen, there is no time. We must find the book. I will explain. Follow me. And it seems that during the Black Mesa incident, another one also happened in administration. There are 3 worlds interconnected, but the source isn't known.
And we have another horde section, this time in a much smaller enclosed room. Force field cheese happens, we die, we start over, awesome. On our next attempt, we complete it. After 7 minutes in this small enclosed area. Also, pretty cool cutscene happens.
Why?
It is at this point where it really starts to dawn on us just how far we are in this set of maps. So we just finished Desastre 1B, 1A, and now we're on Desastre 2, 1B, which makes a lot of sense. And if we look at the list of maps, let's see here. That means we're on the 13th map out of 49. And you know what's funny? We're back in a previous area.
And I'm so happy to report that it leads to another horde section.
But this one's interesting, actually. Because not only can we respawn, but you can actually just cheese it and go through this force field and you end up at a map change. And with that skipped horde section behind us, we'll go into Desastre 2, 1, 1A, A. We open the door and it's this map again.
Oh good, we're back here. I'm so glad we're back here. I love being here last time.
I love that. Oh look, Coffee, you were able to go through it this time.
Yeah, that's so crazy. I can do it now. It's so easy.
This time without the horrible bullshit, but it still screams at you. And we need to take the elevator again. But this time, for our troubles, we get greeted by 2 enemies. After traversing through these halls once again, we're greeted with another Germa cutscene. This one is somehow even more awful with the blinking lights.
Combat here again.
Oh god, this hurts.
After Simon, I suppose, but you cannot get to him yet? I must ask something from you. I don't want you to interrupt my patient, because he is after his book and his frustrations. And as for you, they're always looking. You don't know who they are from. Good night.
Oh my god.
Ha. We will meet once again. Ha ha.
Ho ho.
Oh.
Thanks, Sherman.
Oh.
Well, that was a level.
This next section was so boring that I couldn't even be bothered to edit it. Here are the hits.
Does it give us the, like, pistol and SMG ammo, but we don't have either? Yamino Game Oldham, what the fuck are you doing?
This is once again to improve playtime, Coffee. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna get on top of this.
Uh-oh.
And now I'm floating.
Let's see if I walk around if a million enemies just spawn on top of me. Oh wow, it's a million enemies spawning on top of me. Fucking fantastic. How did I...
My name's Whitaker. I own the gun shop. I'm in need of some colas. You four run over there and procure some for me and I'll clear the roadblock to the mall. Because I know that's where you're headed. And you ain't getting there without my help.
Here's the incredibly loud music again. Because why not?
Now here's the question. Would you rather play a Robuto map?
Well, at the moment, no, because I want to see this through. But in general, yes.
God, you know it's bad when you'd rather play a Robuto
is
map.
comparatively, like, fun and interesting.
Get the Coca-Cola!
Okay, so now that we have the Coca-Cola, now what? We do have the Coca-Cola in your inventory.
I did something.
What the fuck did you do? What? You brought the Coca-Cola to this door?
Yeah, all I did was hit the door, and it did that.
What?
I still had the Coca-Cola though.
What?
I'm gonna go out of bounds here. This is a perfectly valid move because the map lets me do it without trying.
Doesn't let me do it though.
Map change.
Now for something more exciting.
Collect your bullshit, you exit the door, here's a billion enemies for whatever reason. At least they're normal Half-Life enemies. Instead of enemies that just scream at you, and if you die, you can respawn. Hooray! I hate that I have to celebrate this. We go up, if you can believe it, the same slow elevator. It's the same elevator. It is the exact same elevator. It's just in a different map. You know what's at the top? You want to know what's at the top of this elevator? It's a horde section. The answer is always a horde section. At the very least, this one gives us a bunch of weapons, and we can stand on this for safety. Or you can do the more intelligent thing and stand on the middle platform, which is much larger, and you can't get hit. You just stand on the center platform and kill enemies who can't harm you, and it lasts for 7 minutes. There is no challenge to this. It is simply the worst example of gameplay that you can conceive of. And to make matters worse, towards the end, a bunch of the Saw runners appear, or Duo runners, whatever, I don't care. A bunch of them appear. Holy shit! Holy shit!
5 of them!
Shit out 5 of the same enemy, such that they start stacking on each other. And they are bullet sponges. They last for ages. But after Yamino Game has decided that we've been through enough, a helicopter spawns and is here to rescue us. And we just have to run towards the helicopter for another map change.
Fuck it. I don't know what this is wanting to be.
This is like the second or third time we've been rescued.
Yeah.
Well, that was pretty fun.
Have you noticed that these chapters serve little purpose other than to change the music? Anyways,
If there's anything nice I can say about this map, it's that it's more memorable. I had to play through it in single player with God mode so that I knew where to go, but it's more memorable. But yeah, it's time for Cry of Fear, and we're at the top of a steep cliff, and we have to climb down into a bunch of enemies that scream at us. What else is new? Oh, we have to kill a saw runner. Thrilling. Once you defeat him, you can go through here, and oh boy, it's time for another horde section. How many are we at now? Wow. At least we have a good melee weapon now, without any of the stupid bullshit that was required for the previous one. Anyways, back to the gameplay.
Oh no, it's the baby.
Surely the thing right after will be fun and exciting, right?
No.
Okay, but it's something different. You get a key, you backtrack, you shoot a bunch of enemies, you backtrack, you shoot more enemies, and look, the key goes to the door near the start. This is the reason that this level is even remotely memorable.
Hopefully I don't die. Ooh.
Immediately died!
Oh, thanks for your sacrifice, bud.
So what's after that? What comes next?
Go on. Guess. Did you guess a horde section? No.
It's this fucking elevator again. It's this stupid fucking elevator. Which then leads into one of the funnier cutscenes in my opinion. Here, have a look.
Time I was in a helicopter, I always imagined
The government cover for none. Reach out.
After that, we have yet another shitty square arena full of big stupid enemies that can sometimes insta-kill each other. What's the strategy? Oh wow, it's cheese. Just stay in a spot. I love this map set. I love that it makes you kill enemies while standing in a spot where enemies cannot hurt you for minutes at a time, and if you try to have fun, you die, and you can't respawn. Why? Because fuck you. I'm so excited to see what comes right after that. God fucking... Okay, can we talk for a minute? No, really. Why was this set of maps created like this? Like some of the annoyances I can get. You want it to be dark, so it's spooky or whatever. You want it to be this pseudo-survival mode, so it's challenging. Okay, sure. But why is it horde after horde, where half of them aren't even really a challenge? Why do some horde sections let you respawn while others don't? Is this an intentional decision? Okay, real quick. This horde section is whatever, it just spawns easy enemies in front of you, at least you aren't forced to just stand in a spot where they can't hurt you. Let me fast forward a bit. Okay, perfect. This horde section right here encapsulates why this set of maps fucking baffles me. They put, those are armor batteries up there. You see that? Those are armor batteries on top of this electrical box, or whatever it is. Given that this is Sven co-op, this should encourage you to use your friends' heads to climb up and grab them. Nope. Have fun floating, idiot. Anyways, back to talking about the horde sections. So many of them just shit out a bunch of enemies that aren't even one-shottable. And some of them played the loudest and most intense music from the Left 4 Dead 2 soundtrack. And they just make you do this repeatedly until you discover the cheese. Because there's almost always a cheese. There's just one little problem. The cheese strand of this map involves climbing up the electrical box and floating over to the out of bounds section of the map. If you can get just 2 players out of bounds, then one player can stand on the other's head to get just enough height to reach the level trigger. But in order to get out of bounds, you need to push through an invisible wall. As we know from earlier, I'm the only one in this group who cannot pass through these barriers. We don't really know why, but that puts us in a bit of a tricky situation. Sparklin is dead, TBCR is already out of bounds, and that leaves me, floating helplessly above the seemingly endless horde of enemies. Reviving Spockland isn't even an option here, as I'm unable to get down. So what do we do? Is there anything else I can do while I'm stuck up here? Do we have to restart the map? Was our progress in this map all for nothing? Well, I'll just let this clip speak for itself.
Do you play with your game V-Sync?
Or what's your frame rate?
60.
That might
I
be
set
it.
to 60.
Hold on.
They forced it to be 60.
Alright, let's see if setting it to 60. Holy shit, it's the frame rate.
It's right there, at that moment, that a curious thought led to quite the discovery. I was playing Sven co-op at 200 frames per second, because I have a high refresh rate monitor. Everyone else happened to be playing with their frame rate set to 60. And it turns out that having a lower frame rate means that you can just push through these invisible walls that Yami no Game has scattered throughout the entirety of Desastre. In fact, it is easier to push through these walls if you have a lower frame rate, down to the FPS max minimum value of 20. So that's it then, right? We completed the map. It wasn't in the way that Yami no Game intended, but we successfully got to the next map. Well, normally it would be. But you see, there's just one more thing. What the fuck was that? How is this the way that this map transpired? Even in other maps, where I'm able to get out of bounds, it usually just leads to nowhere. And even when it doesn't stem from trying to get armor batteries. Don't get me wrong, I'm glad that it saved me time from playing the rest of this boring horde section, and the rest of this map isn't anything special. But I just don't understand why these maps are... And you know what? While we're asking the question of why was this even made like this, I think it would be a good time to read out the list of maps in the order that they are played. So without further ado, let's read the list. Desastre, Desastre A, Desastre 1A, Desastre 1B, Desastre 1C, Desastre 2, Desastre 2 1A, Desastre 2 1B, Desastre 2A1, Desastre 2 1, Desastre 2 1, 1A, Desastre 1B, 1A, Desastre 2 1, 1B, Desastre 2 1, 1A, A, Desastre 2 2, Desastre 2 2 1A, Desastre 2 2 1A 1B, Desastre 2 2 1A 1B 1A, Desastre 2 2 1A 1A, Desastre 2 2 1A 1C, Desastre 2B, Desastre 2E. Option A, Desastre 2E2, Desastre 2 and C2, and option B, Desastre 2E3, Desastre 2E1, Desastre 2E4, and then Desastre 2 and C. Desastre 2F, Desastre 2G, Desastre 2M, Desastre E2 Intro, Desastre E2 1A, Desastre E2 1B, Desastre E2 1C, Desastre E2 1D, Desastre E2 1E, Desastre E2 1F, Desastre E2 1G, Desastre E2 1H, Desastre E2 1I, Desastre E2 2A, and right when we finally learned that there are more numbers, Desastre E2N. But get this, there's more. Desastre E3 Intro,
Disastrate E31A, Disastrate E31B, Disastrate T21A, Disastrate T21B, Disastrate T21C. Now it got notably more sane towards the end, but can we admire the guts that you have to go from Disastrate 21A to Disastrate 21B, and then to Disastrate 2A1? Why? Or how about Disastrate 211A to Disastrate 1B1A? What happened there? I couldn't make up Disastrate 221A 1B1A if I tried. I just... Why? Why? All this confusion aside, you're not gonna believe it, but it gets more painful. Does this map look familiar to you? Because we've been here before. And it's time for another Horde section. And it's mostly comprised of these horrible enemies that scream at you.
You have to go around.
Well, that was 10 minutes of my life I won't get back. Thankfully, intentionally or not, this is immediately followed up by one of the funniest things in the entire map set. Take a look at this van. See how there's a hole underneath it? We need to get inside that hole. How do you think we move the van? Time's up. You shoot it.
Hold on. Did you just shoot a vehicle out of existence?
Yes.
What?
And what's down this hole, you might wonder? It's another Horde section. The answer is almost always another Horde section. We lose the first time we make it here, and if you could believe it, I've gone completely insane. Alright, so I gotta look up some Peru fun facts. We got a live message. Hi, there's no better time to connect with the world. It's sights, landscapes, cultures, and of course, food. Let's take you around the world. Sign up for our newsletter. How do I close this?
Well, are you?
No. Fact number 5, you can swim with pink dolphins in the Amazon. I got a picture of a pink dolphin here. Fact number 7, and this is where I'm beginning to doubt the veracity of this website. Alien skulls have been found in Peru. Yeah, this is gonna be great.
So,
okay.
Coffee
yeah,
wanted
so
me Coffee wanted me to record this while we're waiting for
This is
Spockland.
This is the greatest stroke of luck. Look, here's Johnny. Get it? It's a reference to the hit movie The Shining.
Oh, what is it a reference to?
The Shining. Next attempt, with the power of slightly crouching in order to see the short enemies underneath the water, we beat the Horde and finish the map. Hooray. And then we get to go to a brand new area. Wow, that's starting to become novel. We go in here, fight a bunch of enemies that are made trivial by the fire axe, stare at whatever's going on here. I've never played Cry of Fear. Is this normal? Just think. What's the most fun thing you can think of to put in a video game? In my opinion, it's a maze that slowly kills you. Admittedly, it's pretty short, but here's something really disappointing. It teleports us to a place we've already been, and that includes this goddamn elevator again.
Someday you go.
Why? And it leads to 2 enemies followed by a shore Horde section. I know, you know what? You're probably getting sick of this. I'm going to really try to keep future Horde sections as short as I can, unless they're like funny or something. But, good God. After this, we get a cutscene that hangs on dead air for a shockingly long time.
Oh, look, there's the big bad guy.
Hey, you! Oh, it is you, the young man from the sewer. You are Simon, aren't you? We have been looking for you. I know where your book is. I have already opened a portal. We must go there.
We must go there.
Oh, for fuck's sake. There's more?
Yes.
Yes, why would there not be more?
We should be able to go on a helicopter and then go home.
We get a new map, which is another map we've already played, but this time it's daytime. And there are way fewer enemies for some reason. I mean, it's good, but weird decision from a map like this. Explore a place you've already been to, further section you've already seen,
see a flying toad for whatever reason.
Why aren't we just speeding? What? What?
No, come back,
What?
back.
I can't. Where am I going?
And we get to another section we've seen like 3 or 4 times with a bunch of enemies. Same old enemies. For some reason when you kill them, an entire giant wall lowers to reveal the doors incorrectly opened. What? You go inside and you're immediately locked in a small room with a Volticore. And then you go a little bit more forward and are greeted by 2 saw runners who can just insta-kill you, but they're stupid enough that you can kite them forever and they can hit each other. Everyone but me dies to these things, and my friend shows a high amount of hope in my survival.
Well, coffee's dead.
I love this map set. That was so cool.
And then these doors also automatically open incorrectly. Oh, and by the way, here's this goddamn room again, with another Germa cutscene.
I got my spine.
There he is.
Germa! This one lasts for about 1.5 minutes, and for old time's sake, in this room, we get to sit on the table again and just shoot bad guys. What the fuck? You can't just make us do this again. And after that, get this. We go up the elevator again. How many times have we gone up this same elevator? I don't care if it's in a different part of the map. It's the exact same, and they always take forever. Why? 6 times now. How many more times are we gonna go up it, Yami? Where does it lead to this time? Imagine my shock when it's actually a new area. Brand new, unfamiliar, amazing, actually exciting. This area features a crying baby and a singular functional door. And here are these cool boxes. Yeah, break with the axe. Key door. Baby's cool. Door fucking explodes. Key door. Satan! Bug with Toad dies. Toad screams.
Okay, good.
Shut up, Toad.
Door. Key. Door. We're here again. On this totally different and new map, we go the same way we went last time, and we're given the choice of whether or not to trust the scientists. This is based on a choice you make in Cry of Fear. How do I know that? Because I read Wikipedia.org and Wikia. Now what's interesting is, this actually matters. Yami no Game Ultimatum actually made a branching path. In our playthrough, we chose to trust the scientists, a posing woman, field, giant fucker, psychopaths, killed map change, plots. I can't read this, but it says Finn. Is this the end? No. If you're curious about the other route, I can quickly summarize it. No. Lady, hallway, head, bad guys, map chain, one shot, hell, back here, climactic battle, the world's slowest Simon. Different ending. I know part of the issue with what I'm about to ask is the fact that I can't read anything that's going on here, and any audio that is translated is honestly kind of hard to understand.
Here you will be.
But what's the plot, Ben? Like, what's the... What are these 2 characters doing? How do they intertwine? How are they exactly related? It's just some kind of weird crossover between Half-Life, Cry of Fear, and like a bunch of other things. I feel like we're missing something.
Have some fun with Mickey.
You remember what I said earlier? We promptly make up a new plot in which we are tasked with rescuing Hatsune Miku. Did you really think that I was asking genuine questions about the plot? No! Because I know the plot. The plot is to rescue Hatsune Miku, and here we are. That's finally happening. We fucking loved this bizarre change in tone. And it helps that it's a Horde section where we can actually respawn. Honestly, the Horde section, standalone, isn't that great. It has a Garg fight eventually, which is a nice change of pace, and Tor shows up. But really, it's the fact that Miku's here that makes this map so special. But unfortunately for us, this map leaves as quickly as it comes, with the bosses killed and the helicopter taking us to a map change.
Yay! I like that the helicopter's wobbling.
Look at us on the stage!
Oh, good. What?
The most enjoyable 13 minutes of this entire set of maps is behind us. I know what you're thinking. I've been ragging on this map for how long? And now I'm asking the question, is it actually good? Well, look at this map. It's just a Left 4 Dead 2 map put in the Sven co-op, but it was actually kind of fun. I mean, you fight your way through this bridge, you've got turrets, you've got grunts, you got a helicopter you gotta fight.
Shoot it, shoot it down. Shoot the fucker down. Hell yeah, oh god!
While it isn't the best that Sven co-op has to offer, it wasn't that bad. It was actually kind of interesting. It was engaging, even. You even have adequate weapons and supplies. And you can respawn.
Oh,
how novel. Of course, while this is all well and good, we ended up soft-blocking the map. Except, to beat the map, rather than restart like most normal people would, we decided to break it with the Tau cannon that Yami no Game graciously gave us, and we could just skip giant portions of the map and eventually find the end trigger.
This is every single track in the game, played at once.
But even despite that, I would still say this was a relatively fun time. Now we're going to investigate how to beat it legitimately. Now just to clarify, this was written long before the current point in time. I was expecting to be able to figure out how to open this door sometime in the future. The future's now, and I still do not know how to open this door. You might recall that Yami no Game has a playthrough of Desastre on his YouTube channel, and that's what I thought of too. I thought, well, if I can't figure it out, maybe his playthrough will shed some light on things. His playthrough of Desastre is on an older version that skips the part we got stuck on. Cool. Now I'm not one to throw around random accusations, but it's the sort of thing that makes me think. Did Yami no Game forget to add a trigger for the door? Did Yami no Game forget to make the door open? Now, if you wanted to play this for yourself, and you wanted to play through the map as legitimately as possible,
don't do that, you'll see why in a moment.
You can just jump around the side, and then continue as normal. You might be wondering if the skip portion might have been good. The answer is no, it wasn't. It wasn't any good. It is long and painful, just like every other portion of this map set. Eventually, after way too long fighting random enemies thrown at you, you eventually fly off. We get a surprisingly competent G-Man cutscene.
Comes.
And to be continued screen. And so with that brief glimmer of fun out of the way, is Desastre good? Of course Desastre isn't fucking good. But to give it some credit, the intro slideshow cutscene is actually pretty funny.
Oh, wow. Clearly you don't own an air fryer.
There's also the fact that the first thing you see is a trio of identical dead scientists. That's pretty good. You start off by, instead of breaking a vent, simply moving it. And then we get a crowbar. Then we get to this map's first instance of combat. It sucks. We spawn in a small, shitty room that blinks rapidly, and there are a bunch of bulky enemies coming to repeatedly spawn kill us. And our weapons are the pistol and the crowbar. At least we can respawn, so that we can repeatedly bash our heads against this stupid, awful wave of enemies. Hey, you want to see a magic trick where I save you 15 minutes of your life? This combat section in a small area is followed up by another combat section in a small area. We go up the ladder, and we find another combat section in a small area. That's cool. Can you guess what comes next? That's right, a bunch of enemies in a small area. Can you guess what comes next? That's right, it's another combat section in a small area. And an absolutely mind-boggling twist, however. This is all followed up by a bunch of turrets.
What the fuck?
And here's Barney. And here's a random keycard in this corner. And this unlocks another combat section with the same music. We go down this ladder, we get a level change.
Yay!
And we get a horde section.
Yeah!
It is so stupid and boring that you can play it with one hand. The only reason you have to move from this spot is to get ammo. This goes on for 6 minutes. And then a door opens up with a teleporter. That takes us to the upper floor, saving us an elevator trip. Oh god, how it saves us an elevator trip. And then we go up a shorter elevator. Another horde section in another familiar location later, we teleport out and we're into another location we've been to before. But now, it's the evening. And it's another horde section. And the ladder doesn't work. Cool. Once you beat the horde, the fence just lowers. Here we are again. This is, what, the third or fourth time we've been here? Incredibly, if you can believe it, the exploit that lets you just float above this area was fixed. Just kidding, here's me airstrafing above everyone to gain speed. After you clear out all the enemies, we revisit another area, and we gotta fight a bunch of the same stupid enemies that scream at us. What's our reward? Oh boy, it's this fucking room again. Why do we need to look at this room again? We lost our sanity because of this room, had to revisit once, and now we need to revisit again. Why? And you know what's fucking funny? You have to go into the elevator again. Except this time, Yami no Game realized, oh, these elevators are stupid and they're terrible. And so instead of making us go up the elevator, we just instantly teleport to the top. Thanks, Yami. After that, there's another Germa cutscene. Hooray! And we're very excited about it, and we can't understand it at all.
¡Llama! En este lugar perfecto para lo desquiciado, para los completamente endemoniados, para los diabólicamente psicópatas.
Taking language classes?
I got a D in Spanish. Don't even look to me.
Shoot the projectors. And then Yami no Game gives us 666 health and 666 armor and Impulse 101. Next map. The next map is a repeat of a very special map. Watch what happens when we turn around.
What? What? Death Note?
Like most maps, there's a horde section where you sit in one spot and shoot bad guys. Goddamn bosses. One teleport later, we're in another copied map. 2 Voltigores later, we got a poo water adventure with a freaking shitload of zombies for some reason. Why are there this many? Oh well. Turret, plunger, explosion, half of this door. Okay. Door that opens to reveal wall. Very cool. Thank you. We get to the third, count it, third obstacle that has explicitly required co-op in this entire map set, and get a map change. And then Yami no Game gives us health and armor and Impulse 101. Next map. A common theme in this later portion of Desastre seems to be the usage of slideshow cutscenes. And they are way funnier than they should be. Like, why did Yami no Game use a Gary's Mod screenshot here? Right next to someone's fucking fan art of the Nylon. By the way.
Clearly you don't own an air fryer.
Anyways, this motherfucker makes us fight the Nylon. And the first time we do, we somehow soft lock it with the displacer and have to restart. Shoot the crystals, shoot the city its head, you're done. Let's read what Yami No Game has to say.
Killjoy's adds saying that he is free to die and that they do not need him anymore, thus closing the premises, and Freeman dies from the military's bombings. G-Man betrays Freeman and Isaac Kleiner. Killjoys always works hand in hand with G-Man. In memory of Freeman, in memory of Isaac Kleiner.
I guess Freeman and Kleiner are fucking dead, but the show must go on. It's time for Desastre Redemption, which is just an edited album cover. Also, credits. But it isn't over yet. How is this still going? The next map opens with another slideshow cutscene. And just look at some of the images used.
Clearly, you don't own an airplane.
Wow. I want to point out we have been at this for 85 minutes.
Who? TBCR. Who the fuck is this?
Oh no! It's all gone. We got the president of Peru.
I still don't understand the usage of real people's likeness here, but whatever. We revisit this area again, go through a teleporter, revisit another location, go through another teleporter, revisit another location, turn the corner to fight a goddamn horde of turrets, Jesus Christ, and then in a shocking twist we fight two helicopters. We go into the elevator teleporter again, get another Germa cutscene, play this fight again, and then it's a map change. And this map is literally just a shitty little cutscene. You walk up here, this motherfucker waves at you, takes one step away, and waves at you again. Shabam. What the fuck is even happening anymore? I know that I can't read any of this, and I can't understand any of this, and neither can anyone else I'm playing with. And in some fairness, we also never really made an effort to understand the plot. But really, what the fuck is happening? We're back here, but it's destroyed. Germa's here without his obnoxious blinking light. Congratulations to Germa.
You really fucking watching this shit? Turn it up. This is perfect. This is exactly what I was talking about. Absolute perfection.
Who even are we? And then we have to stack boxes to get up to this vent. You know, in Half-Life 1. Also, Jesus fucking Christ, why are there 6 dogs that all just scream?
This is just...
It's dogs.
They don't make dog sounds. No, they scream at you. And they always use the same screaming sound, and they will keep making that sound for as long as they live. Once we're done losing our shit over these stupid goddamn dog enemies, I end up as the only one alive, and my only ranged weapon is a crowbar. And here's this stupid screaming lady enemy coming out, and she gets stuck.
Come on, you're really that stupid? Come on, here, let me help you.
It's really that stupid.
And then I can use my infinite supply of crowbars on her too. After finally obtaining a proper firearm, a helicopter shows up to rescue me. After bee-hopping towards it, we are rewarded with another hilariously clumsy helicopter cutscene. I love these.
He goes, fuck you.
Look at the little light in the distance. You see it?
Let's see the helicopter clumsily make its way over.
They tried to make a Left 4 Dead 2, but they made their own original one. This isn't based on any of the Left 4 Dead.
Maybe it's based on a fan mission.
Possibly. That's a possibility.
Now here's the fun part. You get this fucking Kleiner image out of here. It's been a while since I set up a level like this. Frankly, it's because most levels have either been mild or boring in comparison to that one motherfucker level. This level, though, Desastre T2-1B, is a goddamn gauntlet. Here's the deal. There are 3 sections of this map, and in true Desastre fashion, they are all locations we've been before. The first 2 sections are not survival mode, and the final one inexplicably is. This makes the first 2 sections pretty easy, and that just leaves the last section as difficult. In fact, we beat this map on our second try, so honestly, what am I even bitching about? Well, although it only took 2 tries, the length of those 2 tries, from first loading the map until we got a map change, was about an hour and 20 minutes. Our first attempt died about 30 minutes in, and we died very early into attempting the 3rd section. So that's nearly 30 minutes straight of the most brain-dead gameplay imaginable. Spawn, shoot, die. Spawn, shoot, die. Spawn, shoot, die. Spawn, shoot, die. Over and over again, beating us senseless with this awful, awful gameplay. But to be honest, this first section's pretty easy, because you can just shoot through the wall with the towel cannon. Anyways, you kill those, you go up 2 elevators with the most obvious ladders ever, and we get to Section 2. Section 2 just sucks. I know that most of this map set sucks, but this particular section really does suck. It is 13 minutes of respawning and either shooting or being spawn killed by these bulky robo-grunts. There's literally nothing else for me to say. Nobody wants to watch us just trudge through this. And I have fully described it in 1 sentence. Next. Once you get through that fucking mess, you go into the 3rd and final section of this map, where it's suddenly losable again. And if you play it normally and legitimately, you get constantly chased by saw runners that can insta-give you. Given that the other 2 parts weren't losable, you're honestly more likely to take the bash your head against the wall approach until you realize, oh shit, I can't respawn. So how do you beat it? How do you easily beat it, right? There's gotta be a solution. There's always a goddamn solution with this guy. Well, here's what you do. You stand on someone's head and get onto the center part. Really, that's it. You have a rifle and respawning ammo up here. Once you kill all the saw runners, who are all bulky as hell, a bunch of normal enemies start spawning in, some of which have range. But as long as you're killing them consistently, they aren't that threatening, and you can enter this section with full health and armor. Really, it's the fact that it's suddenly losable, which means you can lose 30 minutes of progress in the most mundane, boring, mind-numbing gameplay ever, without even being aware of it. And the fact that it's yet another case of stand in a god spot and shoot at enemies you can't fight back, but that's besides the point. At some arbitrary point in time, about 15 minutes after just shooting enemies, Yami no Game decides that's enough, and summons the slow tram again, finally ending this awful fucking map with another cutscene that we unfortunately don't understand. And this, my friends, is Desastre T2-1C. This is the final map, and we get it done in under 5 minutes. Another cutscene we can't understand, 666 health and armor, Impulse 101. I'm honestly just going to let you see the last 3 minutes of Desastre and our reactions.
On maps as we are, but like we literally are going to tell it like it is.
Germa, what are you doing to Gordon Freeman?
Simon?
And why would I be afraid of being critical of this? This sucks.
But you don't want to always be doom and gloom all the time, you know?
We play good maps sometimes. And you know what?
We do, but the problem is we play more shit maps than good maps.
And you know, sometimes I do think that we're a little hard. Yeah, I think the best example of that is probably Rage Map 2022. It has some issues, but also we were playing it, you know.
with 3 people instead of the recommended.
Oh no, Gordon!
Oh no,
How do you
Gordon!
say- what was the thing? It was. What was the
Good, they were
Gordon,
smart. Oh,
what's
dog,
happening?
dog.
Oh, how do you set your FPS?
FPS _ max. What a fitting goddamn end to this fucking hunk of shit.
I ain't going to sleep well, even though I'm only gonna get sleep for about 5 hours. I'm gonna sleep well.
I can't think of a better way to end this than to stand on a table shooting at enemies that are screaming at you perpetually. For the record, I don't think we would have ever been able to really beat this with our player count if we weren't able to do this.
Yeah.
Not this map, but like previous maps that we had to play through. Looking at the Cry of Fear one specifically.
I think even with a high player count, it'd still be pretty hard.
Yeah.
Like, not many people could fit on that table, and it would just be hell. Ow. Telling myself this thing.
Comes the dog. Please.
What do we do to Gordon?
Please. Please. Please.
This could be it. This could be the end of Desastre. This could be it. Brutality dead?
Dead.
Brutalized?
Did we get a good end or a bad end? Or is this
Is
just
that
an
martyr?
end?
An ending, I guess?
They just like fucking ghosts and
More-
goblins us and tells us to do it again.
You must find... You must find
You were in an illusion this whole time. You have to do it all over again.
This is it.
Created in 2020. God bless.
So this is when they...
Oh, thank
Yeah. Scoreboard.
We did it.
We got a
Scoreboard.
scoreboard.
Finally.
Yippee. I'm so happy.
I'm not.
And that's it. No big crazy climactic fight or anything. Just sitting on a table, shooting enemies who can't fight back. A fitting end, as I put it. That's probably what you're thinking, right? All of this video for a whole lot of this map is really buggy and mostly boring and repetitive, and it railroads you into playing the most boring way possible. I can't even call it the worst map set I've ever played. It's just the most painful. There are other map sets that are more boring, more pointless, and strictly speaking, worse. But this is easily the most painful. And really, I just wanted an excuse to look back over it and re-examine it. Was it really the most painful map set I've ever played? It's rated a 2 on the Sven Co-op map database, which isn't good, but it's far from the lowest score that a map has. Of course, if you've been paying attention, you'd realize my answer pretty quickly. Yup, this map hurt to play, and it was stupidly long. But for all of that pain and misery from playing this map set, I still cannot bring myself to call it entirely lazy. Okay, now sure, the reusage of maps was a bit much, and he didn't seem to create any of the models or weapons himself. But if you truly think that this map set as a whole is lazy, then you have not seen such masterpieces as Saving the Second Amendment, or Modern Glass Box. And hell, even though this is by far the most painful Sven co-op experience I've ever had, there's a map set that I fear might overtake it soon. I won't be naming it, as I haven't played it yet, but just know that it's so insane. The author somehow managed to include within the set of files a PDF for a French hunting license application and a pepper bar. I don't even know how you do that one. Hopefully this has been relatively amusing. I thought that the numerous bugs and strange decisions were funny, at least in hindsight. For as riled up as I sounded about the elevator, it's legitimately one of the funniest things that I've ever seen in Sven Co-op. I don't understand why we went up it 6 times and why every single time it took over a minute to get to the top. To those of you who argue the pointlessness of this entire endeavor, whether that be because there might be another more painful set of maps, or because you simply think that you've played worse.
If you've played worse, please share that with me.
But to those people who argue the pointlessness of this, I say, so what? If you're on your tablet, and Spockland's doing whatever, I don't know what,
I'm eating steak.
I'm gonna play on my Game Boy Advance, and I'm gonna play some Super Mario World. Except I have push to talk, so this is actually gonna be kind of painful to do.
Yeah.
Super Mario World has to be like one of my favorite actual Mario platformers of all time.
See, I'm used to the one with Yoshi's Island on it. That's the first time I played Yoshi's Island was on the Game Boy, not the SNES. So much.
Oh my God, Toad!
Small little space.
You know, you need to turn off your RTX lighting for this map. It's just it's a bit too intense.
If you move your camera outside of the room and then go back in, Toad will scream.
Oh, let me see.
Alright, let's find out. Why does it do this? Why?
Why is your Toad's mouth moving? Why is your mouth moving?
I'm back. Oh god. Dude, why?
You need to...
Okay, whenever... Okay, TVCR, whenever we're about...
I accidentally walked into it, and by the time I realized what I did, I just accepted my fate.
How long do you think you could stand being stuck in an elevator with Toad just doing this over and over again?
About as long.
Sorry, I had earplugs on. You were saying something?
Shut up!
Let me know when the cutscene ends.
Walk away.
It's about to end.
It always takes a few more seconds. It takes 20 seconds for it to end. After they're done talking.
It's about to end. I
This
said.
has to be fucking troll.
This has to be
At this point, it doesn't feel like it feels like it's intentional.
Game just crashes.
I said.
It's about to end.
Listen, Jerba just wants us to look at their pretty neat gloves there.
Was it like
Those rubbly
was it
gloves.
longer in Spanish?
Maybe.
I don't like all
Look
that
at the next
anymore.
room.
Guess what room it is, Coffee?
Why are we
Let's
back?
wait for question. Let's wait for
TBCR, TBCR, TBCR. But the plot's resolving. Plot's resolving. You remember? TBCR, this is really important. Look who we found.
Oh my God, we found Miku finally.
We found Slipknot.
Yes.
What?
Yes.
Okay. Yes. Vote yes.
Yes.
Fine.
I swear to God, if I see
This was the
Miku-
plot.
So this was
the
the
plot
ending.
after a long
rest.
So we just get to pick the. I swear to God, if it has fucking Hatsune Miku music playing while we're slaughtering fucking zombies, I'm going to lose my fucking shit.
Was that?
I can't concentrate with this.
You know what? It was all worth it. I take it back. It was all worth it.
Yeah, this is this has gone from like one of the worst experiences to like enjoyable, like good, bad, enjoyable.
This is bad in a very funny way.
Yes, it's gone from one of the worst things to like kind of fun.
Oh, by the way, since I started making this, Yamino Game has released a remake of Desastre, legitimately rendering this entire journey pointless. Okay, bye.